Hey guys, welcome back. It's Lucky here, and today we're going to go over 10 huge mistakes that you need to avoid while playing Starfield. Hopefully these are going to save you some time, some currency, and some frustration. So without delay, let's dive right into mistake number 1 that you should avoid. And mistake number 1 is going to be getting caught with contraband. Now, you probably are well aware that you don't want to get caught with contraband, but you might not be aware of how to get rid of contraband real easy, all the way from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. So what you're going to want to do is, here is where Jemison is, Alpha Centauri, right? You've got this place here. You've got Sol. This is where Earth is and all that stuff. But just up and to the right of Alpha Centauri, you've got Wolf here. So you're going to go to the Wolf system, and here you have the Den, and you're going to want to go there. Now, when you dock with the Den space station, you're going to appear here. As soon as you get off your spaceship, you're just going to run forward and to the left. Now, here is the Trade Authority, and you can unload all your contraband goods here. Now, the thing that makes this special is you don't get scanned coming into this system here. Whenever you go to Wolf, nobody's there to scan you when you arrive, and I would have made so much more money on my first playthrough had I known about this. I left so much contraband behind just because I didn't want to deal with getting caught with it. Now, when you talk to him, you might notice he has 12,000 credits, and you're going to very easily be able to come here with more than 12,000 credits worth of goods, which brings us to the next quick point, and that is you can restock their credits as well as anything that they're selling. So if you happen to want to buy one of the items that this guy has for sale, and maybe you want to buy a lot of it, right? Maybe there's resources here that you need for crafting. Maybe there's ammo that you need more of. Whatever it is, you need more emergency kits. You can just come here to the chair and wait. And as long as you wait more than 24 hours, he's going to restock that currency. And the most you'll ever have to wait to restock one of these guys is 48 hours. So you can hit wait, and then you can choose how long you want to wait. And he will be fully restocked, both his currency and all the items that you're hoping to buy from him. Before we continue, let me take a second to tell you about today's sponsor. Goddess of Victory Nikkei is a sci-fi shooter RPG that you can play on Android, iOS, and PC. Right now, there's an event going on where the most popular characters from Nier Automata are available in Nikkei. This epic crossover starts September 1st and runs through September 27th. During this event, your favorite Nier characters like 2B, A2, and Pascal will be available in the game. Nikkei features incredible character design as well as fantastic intuitive controls for a fun, casual gaming experience at home or on the go. You can play it by yourself or with other players. It's set in a post-apocalyptic future where the surface of the Earth was overthrown by mechanical aliens. Survivors fled underground and produced artificial soldiers called Nikkeis. It's up to you to control your Nikkeis and reclaim the surface. Each Nikkei you collect will have unique combat abilities that will allow you to strategically create the ultimate team. If you're looking for a fun game to play while you're commuting, on break, or watching Netflix, definitely check out Goddess of Victory Nikkei. And if you're a gacha or anime fan, give this game a try. Use the download link in the description below. Thanks for listening. Now let's get back to the video. The next one is a really quick one, and that is sometimes you'll walk up to a door like this and it'll say cut the pin, and you can pull out your cutter and you can cut the pins all the way around the door, and it's going to open for you and allow you to take an alternate path through someplace, maybe find something really cool. All right, the next big mistake people tend to make in this game is not being aware of the fact that they have way more than one type of heal. They have 3 different types of heals in this game right now. So everybody is usually aware of med packs because they get them early on, and they're like, oh, med packs are how I heal myself very well in this game, better than pretty much everything else, or so it seems. Until you notice that you've also got emergency kits in this game, and you've also got trauma packs in this game. And these ones heal you faster. Where the med pack heals you over 10 seconds, these ones will heal you over 5 and over 5 here. So they are a faster heal and potentially a stronger heal. So these heals are always faster and sometimes even a stronger heal than your med pack. So don't sleep on trauma packs and emergency kits whenever you're running to a doctor or a merchant to resupply on heal kits. Or if you're in a pinch and you need more heals in battle, don't forget to check for your trauma packs, your emergency kits on top of your med packs. All right, so the next mistake to avoid is when you do set up an outpost and you have it collecting some kind of mineral or resource for you on that outpost, you're going to want to do a couple of things. One, you're going to want to set up the machine that's going to extract the resource. And 2, you're going to want to put a storage container. Now, that's not where you stop, though. After you've set both of these items down, you hold your interact button. You can see it right there. It says hold to open quick menu. So we hold that down, and this menu will come up. Now you're going to scroll down to Outlink, and you're going to select, and now you get this red line, and you can attach it to the thing you want it to put it in. So now it will automatically put anything that it extracts from this planet into your storage container for you so that you don't have to swing by here and manually pull it out and put it here, right? Every time that this thing's filling up, it's automatically going to put it all in there for you. So don't forget to link things in your base. Also, when you do create an outpost, don't forget to put turrets around your outpost. Space pirates will attack it. So will, wildlife and stuff like that. So just make sure you put turrets on your outpost when you set one out. The next mistake to avoid is that if you do happen to grab jump to a place with asteroids floating around, you can destroy those for the materials that they have on them sometimes. So try that out if you happen to see some asteroids floating around while you're in space. Before we continue, if you guys are enjoying the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps way more than you know, and I'll be putting out a ton more Starfield content for you guys to enjoy. Thanks. Now let's get back to the video. Okay, this next mistake has to do with New Game Plus, just in case some of you guys are getting to that point. So before you do a New Game Plus, right, before you get to the end of the game and start your New Game Plus, there's some things that you should definitely do, because some stuff that you do in your first playthrough carry over into your New Game Plus, whereas other things are wiped clean and it's a blank slate kind of situation. So the things that carry over to New Game Plus are going to be your skills. All of these that you unlock will carry over, and you can keep unlocking and progressing down these trees in your New Game Plus. Another thing that carries over is your level and your character's memory, but that's just about it. Everything else that you've collected is going to be wiped clean. All of the armor, all of the gear, all of your ammunition, all of those resources you harvested and collected on those planets out there, all of that gets wiped away. But another thing that carries over with you is your research. So before you disappear all that gold and all of those materials that you harvested, make sure to swing by the research bench here and use them. You've probably got a ton lying around, and it's really easy. You just come in here, you click on this, you click on all the things, double click, or, interact. If you're on console, you interact with all of them and it just changes this to completed. You can see I've already done it on this character, and you just go down this list one at a time, doing everything that it'll let you. Then go to the next one, research all of these things, and that will put all of those resources that you've collected to use, and do that until you run out of resources, so that when you go to your New Game Plus, you're not just losing all those resources. That progress is actually carried over into the New Game Plus with you, everything that you've researched here, as well as any progress that you get on, say, spacesuit design, weapon engineering, right? These things are going to ask you right here. It says craft weapon mods, 5 out of 5. So I came here, I used my materials to craft 5 different weapon mods so I could advance this, right? And that way I could level it up. A New Game Plus, I did that with everything that I could use my materials in here. Anything that would cost money, anything that would cost materials, I came and focused that in this crafting room before I went to New Game Plus. And it was one of the best decisions I made, because it felt like I wasn't losing nearly as much since all that progress came with me. And it did use up most of my resources for tons of stuff. So, and the other thing that's worth doing before you go to New Game Plus is going to be starship design. You can see here, it says down there, install 5 unique ship modules. So this is going to cost money. Money is another thing that's not going to carry from your first game to your New Game Plus. So you want to spend as much of it on things that will carry into New Game Plus as possible, like your materials for research, like your starship design, installing unique modules. So, and just note the word that it says they're unique ship modules. So you can't install the same module 5 different times. You've got to find 5 different modules to install, and that'll take you to the next level. And if you have the skill points available, you can level it up and do that again with your currency that you're sitting on, because most likely by the time you get to the end of the game, you're going to be sitting on a lot of currency, and it might be a little tough walking away from that. So this is one way to put it to use before you go to New Game Plus. And speaking of progressing your skills, another mistake to avoid is sitting at a low pilot rating. Pilot rating is what's going to allow you to take those big ships. So once in a while, you're going to be out in the wild and you're going to run into a C-class ships. These are the big heavy boys, and you can't fly away with it and make all that money from selling it, or better yet, fly it yourself as your main ship, unless you have the ability to fly C-rated ships. And you can see here, the only way to get to C-rated ships is to be rank 4 of this, right? And you can get held up very easily. It says destroy 15 ships. I'm at a 8 out of 15. A very easy way to progress this, which I didn't know until you guys told me in the comments. So big shout out to you guys leaving comments down below. By the way, if you've got any other good tips, leave them in the comments down below and be sure to check those out, guys. Here, I got stuck at a 8 out of 15. So what you're going to do is go to the UC Vanguard, which is out here. And what you're going to do is leave the lodge, just run over here, and right in this building here, big mass building, you're going to sign up for the UC Vanguard. You've probably already done this if you've already started the game, because this is a very early quest kind of situation. If you haven't started the game, make sure to pick this up early. And it's going to allow you to do your, from this guy right here is where you start it. And it's going to give you a flight simulator. And in that flight simulator, you're constantly going to have access to spaceship kills, right? Because you're simulating that you're in space battles. And those count towards leveling up your piloting skill here. Very nice to have. That would have saved me a lot of hassle hunting down ships to kill to level this up. I would have already been maxed out by now, man. And I would be flying those C-class ships around in my first playthrough. This is kind of an old save, so I don't spoil anything for you guys, but this save would have been much farther along, you know, if I had known about this little trick. So don't make the mistake I did. Another mistake to avoid making is kind of being aware of which items are really heavy, like ship parts. You don't want to carry those around. They weigh 10 weight. That's massive. Speaking of ship parts, whenever you finish a fight against other ships, you can loot them. Your distance from them just has to be 500. So get up to a distance of within 500 meters to the enemy vessel, and you'll now be able to loot that vessel. And one of the best things you can get off of those is ship parts, because this is going to allow you to repair your ship on the fly simply by pressing the repair button, which is showing up on the UI while you're in battle. Always grab those ship parts. You'll never feel like you have too many. If you're carrying ship parts around, you're going to be constantly full all the time. And you're going to be wondering why. Well, that's going to be an easy way to fill up. And there's a lot of heavy items in this game that you don't want to carry really more than 1 or 2 up. So you're going to want to offload those as soon as you can. And so there's a few different ways to deal with your inventory and over encumbrance. One of which, of course, is put some of the items on your partner, like Sarah here. She can only carry like 135. It's not very much. So you'll fill them up really fast, especially if you're grabbing spacesuits and guns, because they sell fairly well. The other thing that you can do is fill up the storage crate right here. This thing seems to be unlimited, and it's in your crafting room. So there's another unlimited storage space up in your room, which I've talked about in previous videos, but that one's a little more inconvenient to get to if you decide you need some of the materials from it. This one's unlimited, and it's right here in the crafting room. So if you're trying to craft something and you're like, oh man, I could swear I had a bunch of that, you could check it here. Better yet though, if you can, just increase the storage space on your ship by using the ship builder to add extra cargo slots to your ship, because the best thing about having cargo on your ship is whenever you are building an outpost or whenever you're using research lab or crafting stations, these will all pull from the ship. So it doesn't matter where your ship's at, right? Whereas that's not true when you're putting it into storage containers like this necessarily. So the best place for items is on you and on your ship. In those two places, you don't have to pull it out to use it. The next mistake to avoid is not turning robots and sentries into your allies. So whenever you see a sentry, like a machine gun, or whenever you see a robot that is hostile to you, there's almost always a computer somewhere that you can use to turn that into your allies. If there's a lot of them, look for the computer that you can open up, and it's usually just a couple of clicks, and you say, hey, recalibrate the friend and foe settings, make them my friends, and then all of a sudden they're all on your side. The sentries and the robots are now attacking the other enemies instead of you in that facility. Definitely take advantage of that. Okay, this next one is kind of a continuation of the storage problem. If you are having a storage problem, you can always just drop things in your inventory here, and down in the bottom right there, you see where it says drop. You can always just drop stuff in your ship. And by dropping it on the floor in your ship, this is kind of a last resort kind of situation. But as long as you drop it in here, it's going to go everywhere with you. It's going to be kind of a mess. It's going to be clutter. You're probably going to want to add cargo space to your ship the right way when you're able to. But until you have the funds and the time and the desire to do that, you can just drop a lot of stuff just in your ship, and it's not going to count against you in any way, shape, or form. It's just going to be kind of chilling there, floating with you. So if you're looking for like an emergency storage space when you're out on the go and you're not ready to return back to the lodge yet, there you go. Another mistake to avoid making if you feel kind of goofy being the only person walking around in a space suit while everyone else is in normal shorts and a t-shirt or jeans and a jacket, right? One of the things you can do down there in the bottom of the screen right now, it says hide spacesuit in settlements, and you can press that, and now whenever you're in a settlement area, it will hide your spacesuit. So anywhere there's like a breathable atmosphere basically, and it's safe to do so, it'll hide your spacesuit so that you're not the one guy in the room wearing a spacesuit at the bar. Another mistake to avoid making, just in case you didn't see my other videos, is don't forget to pick up the skills for the things you want to do in this game. You cannot use the boost packs without putting a point into boost pack. You can't fly the good ships without putting a point into piloting, and you can't unlock the cool things without putting some points into security. You can unlock novice without putting any points into it, but that's it. And you're always going to wonder what's on the other side. So it's probably going to be worth leveling security up as well. Those three are more or less essential in my mind. If you're going to want to get into ship building and building really cool ships and putting really powerful parts on those ships, you're going to have to put some points into starship design to allow you to do that. And if you're going to want to be able to settle on hostile planets, you're going to have to put a point into planetary habitation. So if that's something you want to do, is build lots of outposts, just be aware of the fact that you're going to want to work your way down there. Likewise, if you want to steal from people, if you want to pickpocket, you're going to have to put a point into theft. You cannot do that without this point here. So if you want to know what they're holding, just in case you want to take it, go ahead and throw a point in here early. And stealth. You can sneak around without putting a point into stealth, but you're not going to know how effectively you're sneaking. This is going to put a bar on your screen that tells you, hey, you're getting too close. They're starting to notice you or not. So putting a point into stealth is going to help if you're into being stealth or you're into doing stealth missions stealthily. And of course, there's never been a person that's played a Bethesda game that says, I have too much carry capacity, right? Nobody ever says that. So weightlifting is almost an essential one for you here, unless you just like being encumbered all the time. The next huge mistake to avoid making is forgetting to save. Save often. There are situations where you can bypass one of the things that causes an autosave, and you can go quite a while sometimes without getting one of those autosaves to trigger. So get familiar with your autosave button or where you want to save the game, or with how to save the game often and easily, because you're going to want to do that. It feels bad when you realize that you just lost 1 hour to a half hour of progress because you died or you did something that you didn't like the outcome of. So save often. You won't regret it. Get in the habit. If you've played other Bethesda games, or if you just came from Baldur's Gate 3, you're very familiar with hitting that save button often already anyway. While you're out and about and getting into trouble and maybe stealing and maybe sometimes getting caught for minor infractions, you might find yourself accruing a bounty. If that happens, it's not a big deal as long as you know how to get rid of it. So one of the ways to do that is to come over here. You land your ship in Jemison, come up here, and right up here, you've got these two terminals. One is for missions and the other is self-service bounty clearance. You can clear your bounty here. Now, the thing to know about this is if we zoom out here, it says in the top right, United Colonies, this faction. So if your bounty is with the Freestar Collective, then you would want to come to the United Colonies and clear your bounty here. If your bounty is with United Colonies, then you would want to go to one of the other major towns and clear your bounty that way, in that location. Okay, this next huge mistake has to do with the cutter. A lot of people don't realize this, and I didn't realize it for a long time. You can hold down the right click and look at the reticle. You'll see these lines going in towards the middle there. Now, when it's full, it mines way faster. Now, this is what it looks like when I don't have it fully charged like that. Much longer to clear that, right? Did you see that? Way longer to do your mining this way. So always make sure that you hold down your right click or your aim button while you're doing this, and it's going to allow you to get these things instantly. Look at that, just instant. And that just comes from holding down this, and it even has a different color for the laser. So the laser looks like this when I'm not holding it down. And when you do hold down the aim button, the laser looks like this. It's like orange and bright and much more powerful. So take advantage of that little trick. Make sure you hold down your right click as you're running around mining your ore, and use that really strong laser to get things much faster. Save yourself some time. All right, guys, those are the huge mistakes you should avoid making while playing Starfield. If you've got any great advice, be sure to leave a comment down below and share it with us, and maybe I'll throw it in my next video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more great Starfield content. Massive shout out to my YouTube channel members. Thanks for being a part of the channel, and thanks for supporting the way you do. If you want to become a YouTube channel member, be sure to click the join button below for perks like a private Discord channel, having your name pop up on the end of every video, and more. If you ever want to catch me while I'm live, swing by my Twitch stream over at twitch.tv/luckyghost. If you're not sure what to do next, maybe check out one of these Starfield videos popping up on screen right now.